Many farmers inherit or find unhealthy soil, but how do you fix it? Learn more from Glen Rabenberg in this SoilWorks episode focused on correcting the cause of unhealthy soil. It is always cheaper to correct the cause than react to the symptom.
This is the SoilWorks Correct the Cause podcast featuring Glen Rabenberg and brought to you by SoilWorks and Acres, U.S.A. You're listening to episode 6 of the SoilWorks Correct the Cause podcast series. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Ryan Slabaugh. In our 5th episode, Glen Rabenberg and I went through the question of herbicide-resistant weeds. In this episode, we're going to talk about unhealthy soil. Our goal today will be to help you understand what unhealthy soil is and how to crack the causes of it. Glen, welcome back.
Hey, thank you. I hope your day is going well.
We're already on episode 6 for those who are staying with us from episode 1 all the way through 10. Thank you for joining us. We're halfway there. We're getting to the real critical issues of unhealthy soil and really how to detect and cure unhealthy soil. So vital to just about everybody growing anything out there. So, Glen, I wanted to ask a real basic question to get started, which is, how do you define healthy?
Oh boy, that's a great question. And before I get to that, I'd like to go through some of the terms that are popping up. And soil health is becoming a very big topic because people are now starting to realize that there are soil problems. And I kind of giggle because I try to keep things simple in my life and in our business. And there's a lot of terms that are showing up that are regarding the soil, like ecological or holistic or sustainable or regenerative or organic or gluten-free or non-GMO. Well, when it comes to defining healthy soil, I like to keep it simple. And the definition of healthy I like is without disease or impairment. Very simple, very straightforward, and I don't know if it really needs a whole lot of explanation.
All right. Well, sometimes basic questions get great answers. So I'll follow that one with another one. Will soil testing tell me about unhealthy soil?
Kinda. A soil test is a great tool. We recommend them, we go by them, but we also realize that these soil tests aren't the holy grail to soil information. What they tell us is the minerals in the soil. They talk about organic matter, but they don't talk about how much water holding capacity the soil has, and they don't talk about how much air the soil can contain and hold. And water and air are both supposed to be at 25% composition of healthy soil. And when you do a soil test, the soil test will give you and tell you about the minerals that are there to structure the soil. And this structure of the minerals will create the home for the microbes to make the food and to make the plant. And the easiest way that I like to look at it is minerals structure the soil, but microbes grow the plant. And what we look at is a soil test really doesn't tell you if the soil is healthy or not. And there's soil health assessments, and everybody is trying to figure out what healthy soil means. This soil's been around for a long time, and hopefully it'll be around for a lot longer. One of the things we look at is when you're walking across the field, if you've worked it or if you haven't, if you're in a no-till situation and it feels like you're walking on concrete, you probably don't have 25% air evenly distributed throughout that soil. What that means is if the air isn't there, you don't have the microbes there. And if the air and the microbes aren't there, it's going to be tough to grow a healthy, disease-free plant that doesn't have impairment. So when you're looking at the soil, if you got lumps, clumps, or clods, or cracking or crusting throughout the growing season, you don't have healthy soil. Or if your soil pH is too high or too low, you don't have healthy soil. And there's 100 different ways that I don't think we're going to get to all of them, but I hope this has given your listeners kind of an idea or a peek into this as to some of the things that make soil unhealthy.
So it sounds like calcium is the alpha mineral. Do I just add calcium, or how do I correct the cause of unhealthy soil?
Well, we look at calcium is the mother of the soil, and phosphorus is the father of the soil, and together they're kind of foster parents to all the other minerals in the soil. And calcium is heavy. She's a big old gal. She likes to migrate down throughout time and throughout the season. And again, if you have lumps, clumps, clods, cracking, crusting, sealing off, that calcium has already moved down and you're deficient. And I kind of relate soil to when I was growing up, and I'm guessing anybody in the listening audience is if mom and dad left you home alone when you were kids, I'm guessing if your home was anything like ours, something got broken, somebody probably bled, and there were a lot of activities going on when your parents weren't there that never would have happened if they were around. And what we're finding is the deficiency of available calcium throughout the entire soil profile, top to bottom, allows the other minerals, or the kids, to cause ruckus, and they basically start creating an unhealthy environment, and the plants that grow out of it will tell you whether your soil is healthy or not.
Thank you, Glenn. So, in summary of episode 6, look at your soil. Is it cracking? Is it clotting? Are there strange weeds growing in it? We got a whole episode earlier in the series just on that one alone. Look at your calcium inputs and make sure that the parent mineral is around to keep all the other minerals in shape. I think I got all that right. Thank you for listening to the 6th episode in this Soilworks series. Stay tuned for episode 7, which will help you correct the cause of nitrogen deficiencies, a common problem again for a lot of growers. So thanks from Soilworks, Glen Rabenberg, and everyone here at Acres USA. Find those causes and get them corrected.